Now we're going to go back to sort of alphabetical order. Is an internationally known entrepreneur. He founded the MMG Center for Performance and Leadership Development. It really blew me away when I was at it not long ago in Chicago, me and Les Brown. He's an international trainer and speaker with more than 20 years experience in moving audiences into action. His name is Barry Donalson. He is the HNIC. At 5 Lakes, I mean HNI, brother making huge paper. Lives here in Dallas and in Chicago. I think he has a third home in the Caribbean. Yes, he is single. He has a beautiful child by the woman he had married. Right? Ain't no baby daddy kind of thing, you know, it ain't about that, right? He's a brilliant brother. I was impressed by him because not only does he know how to make money, he knows how to serve our people. He's invested millions of dollars in building a facility so that we can come and gather like this in Chicago and learn from each other. Will you please welcome to the stage Mr. Barry Donalson. Turn the music up. How we doing? Let's get up for George Fraser. He's amazing. Let's get up for George Fraser. Thank you very much. You know, I actually had a speech, a thank you speech prepared for this, and I decided to not use it. I wanted to speak from my heart, or off the cuff, if you will. I had an opportunity to meet George on platform in Oakland a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, actually. And I asked him the question, I said, George, you've done a lot of incredible work. Who's your successor? He said, I don't have one yet. And now he does. So that's an amazing thing what he's doing. Congratulations, George, for your work. I'm just a small kid from Arkansas with a dream. My grandmother was a maid. She worked, made $60 a week, and we stood in a hot line at Togo Elementary School for our government cheese that didn't melt. I don't know if you're successful, but doesn't know anything about that, but the cheese does not melt. And I went to college on set-aside programs, Upward Bound and Pell Grants, and I was in line for my lunch tickets, and I just had a dream. I just decided one day that I had enough. I had enough of people telling me what to do, and I had enough of struggling. I was tired of not having anything in my life. I'm a first-generation college student. And so I graduated from the University of Arkansas, and I went to work in corporate America. And to be frankly honest with you, I was psychologically unemployable. I couldn't sit there. I love people in corporate America. Nothing wrong with corporate America. I'm just not cut from that cloth. So I decided to pursue my own dreams and do things on my own. And I joined a business called Professional Networking, and I worked really hard and struggled with it, and it failed a few years, and I went on, and today I have a business that this year did about $300 million in business and sales. And so what's great about it, though, thank you very much. What's great about that is that today I live my life on my choices. I actually have taken people who were struggling in their lives, and I put them in an income bracket of a brain surgeon, 3 years of working with me. I put over 400,000 black people in businesses. I was able to build the only freestanding entrepreneur school in America, where people come and they share ideas, and they're able to learn and grow and be successful in whatever their field of endeavor is. It doesn't really matter, but whatever it is, they can come there and they can grow and be successful. And George came out to our school a few months ago and graced an audience of about 200 students. So thank you, George, for doing that. But I do want to tell you this. It's not about the money that you're going to make in your endeavor. It's not about the houses you're going to buy, or the cars that you're going to buy, and the suits that you're going to wear, and the dresses you're going to wear. It's really about your legacy. That's what it's all about. You know, we talk about building generational wealth, but most of the black people I know don't have anything. And until we start owning and start having, how are we going to leave a legacy? And the legacy is what we're trying to leave. And so I'm going to leave you with a couple things that I think you might want to take with you. I just wrote them down sitting at the table. It just came to my mind. You can write these down and use them if you choose. I think that you might want to leave 5 types of legacies before you leave here. One is called the legacy of expectation. You need to expect the best from your kids and the people who work for you. Your team. Expect the best. They should expect the best from you. You leave the legacy of expectation, your business will soar. Your children will get the best education money could buy. They'll do phenomenal things in their life if you expect it of them. Second thing is called, what I said, the legacy of encouragement. Encourage those people, lift them up if they're doing not so good as you. It's okay if things are going bad right now. You know, it's your attitude that determines where you're going to go. It doesn't make a difference if right now you're in a winter in your life. We all go through winters in our life, but spring is on the way. And if you understand that, you'll get through the winters in your life. Some of you guys are sitting here, I know you got burdens on your shoulder, you got things going on in your life, and you think, man, if I could just get through this. And you will, because spring always comes after winter, doesn't it? Absolutely. The third one is what I want to call the legacy of purpose. Why are you living? What's your purpose in life? What purpose are you going to give your children? What's the purpose of your business? What's your mission statement in your business? When you wake up every single day, what is it that you do that means and makes a difference in somebody else's life? That's where I live my life today. I live my life on a purpose. I've made the money. I continue to make money, and thank God for that. But what is your purpose? Why are you here? What are you doing? The fourth thing is the legacy of love. My grandmother, who had a 3rd grade education, she said, she used to call me Buddy. She said, Buddy, don't forget to pray. And in my life, that's one of the only things I was unable to achieve. I was not successful when she passed away. But I have a 7-year-old son, and I love him with all the breath I can take. And I tell him every single day that I love him. He's my best friend. He's my boy, my BFF. And he's in Hawaii right now with his mom, and we're recording this because I want to make sure he has this to play for the rest of his life. Who do you love and who loves you? If you're in quarrels with your brother or your sister, fix it. If you're in quarrels with your mother or father, fix it. Also, my father, he's suffering from brain cancer. He may not make it. And I told my dad, I'm going to record this and send it to you also, Dad, because he wanted to be here. And the 5th one I'm going to give you is called the legacy of excellence. Be the best you could be at everything you do, or just simply don't do it. Give it your all. As black business owners, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay to make money. Everybody who comes to us wants the hookup for business, don't they? Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be out of business if you give everybody the hookup. One thing I learned from George, it's okay to be successful in black. I put George on a conference call with 3,000 black folks, and I got 1,000 text messages saying he's talking to black. I said, listen to what the man has to say. He's telling you about being successful, but you happen to be black. This is our time, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it being called cool and brilliant. I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm brilliant, but I am black. Man, Randall, we're 2 tall, dark brothers, Kappa brothers, chocolate Kappa brothers. But remember those legacies. And I'll leave you with a story that I put on paper. I only read it in situations like this. I put it on paper when I wasn't making very much money, because I knew one day I would, because I believed in myself. And I hope this story has impact on you as it had on me when I was putting it on paper. It's called freedom. In the United States of America lies a large industrial city, site of one of the largest slave labor camps. Near the center are community settlements where the slaves live. Each morning they move herd like from their quarters into the industrial camp. Each one at his or her station by 7:30. And here they are met by their master for the day's duties. Here they remain in chains until 5 p.m. when they are released. They have no choice on how many hours they must labor. Sometimes they are required to work overtime until their master tells them that they may leave. Each year they're told when to take their vacations and for how long and when to return. They have very little choice in how much money they can earn, and they're allowed very little time for lunch and coffee breaks during these labor hours. They remain in chains in great fear that their master may punish them with the whip. It's called the layoff whip. It is said that some of these slaves are good and faithful, and they still feel the sting of that whip. Day by day and year by year, they toil until the master decides it's time for them to stop. Then he releases them to the retirement camps where they're forced to sit idle and wait for death. It is a well-known fact that some of these slaves really want to work, but some of them are even whipped until they have to stop. It's called the pension whip. I know these slave labor camps exist because I'm a free man who live among the slaves. I'm in a business for myself. I am truly free. I rise in the morning, cough up on my own schedule. I decide my own hours, and I can even sleep in late while the slaves are at work. I can vacation when and where and with whom I please, and I'm free to take my coffee breaks and lunch when I decide. And of course, I can decide my own paycheck because I am no longer a slave. I can choose to work when and when I please, and I am free to stay in the city for as long as I want to, and I can even move into green pastures if I decide to. You know, I've seen many of slaves pick up their belongings and move into a new city in search of a new master. There's a real hope for the slave, though. He or she may buy their own freedom. The price is not high for those who are willing to pay the price. Well, what is the price? One must be willing to be their own master. One must be willing to be their own master. One must be willing to be their own master. Hey, George, thank you very much. God bless you. I appreciate it.